access into the legal property. But we can't do that.
There's a legal process that you have to go through. Now, we have talked about using a hearing officer, which could potentially compress the time, but not a lot.
Let me give you the distinction here, Mayor. It's a matter of access. Cutting grass is usually open. We can get in the yard, we can cut the grass. But we had to go, in this case, inside the property. So we had to gain access and gain legal access
Can we do
in
that?
order to do it ourselves.
What I was told, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, because you were there, the doors were wide open. Anybody could walk in and out. They actually had some homeless people living there for a couple of days. And that's what I was told.
Not to my knowledge, man.
I mean, I'm only listening to, I can't go get haircuts anymore because I have to listen to it. So.
Wayne Clark, Community Development Director. I just wanted to help Scott because he wasn't actually the code officer that worked on this case. It was Dina Joseph. She's not available to be here tonight, so I didn't want to leave him having to answer questions for stuff that he wasn't a part of. We found out about this case when the police department, Department of Children and Families, went in. There was a complaint about an elderly person in the home. It was brought to our attention through that, and when we got into it at that point, when we realized, and as the city attorney has told you, it moved within about a week to the code board, shifted to the foreclosure to GMAC. GMAC cleaned the house. It had about 3 feet of trash, debris, feces, and everything in it, and they cleaned that thing in about 2 weeks. The order did say, more than cleaning it, now that all the trash is out of there, and I forget how many cubic yards of trash, it was 5 or 6 huge trucks worth of trash that was hauled away from it. The interior of the house has been cleaned of trash. The house has been boarded up and secured. The only thing that's left in the board order to be done is the fumigation and the sanitizing of the structure, which Scott did speak with someone from GMAC today that they are working on doing. And we explained to them the need to go ahead and finish that out. He's also talked to the neighbors who were the ones who were dealing with the negative impact of it with the smells. And they reported to him today they were much more happy that while they can't say it doesn't smell at all, it is substantially better. So that they have made tremendous improvements in that time frame. So this one was a unique case, as the attorney was telling you, with an interior issue. There's a separate issue with how do you rapidly deal with overgrown lots and yards, and the city manager, the city attorney, and the staff have been trying to come up with some options to provide so that we can get that done in a quicker time.
It's probably been several years ago. What was the one that I had? It was the yard and the pool, and we couldn't access the pool for the same reason, even though the problem that we're having trying to get the ordinance that protects children, even though it, quote, did not meet the code because of it being open and dirty, you still couldn't access it. There's got to be some mechanism that compresses this.
Right, and I guess you're going in a direction. Is there any ability to declare an emergency to get into that? That's the point.
I live in a world of life safety, or how do you imminent danger somehow? I don't know. Imminent danger. What is imminent danger? What do you cover?
The code. Do they have the authority to declare an emergency where it needs an immediate attention, and then figure out the paperwork later on? I know that we live in such a legal society today that everything is attorney driven, but in an emergency situation, this was probably. I feel for those neighbors that had to deal with this issue.
Florida statute allows us to cite something for life safety. It offers less of amount of the time for service that is due process under the law. So in some situation it depends on the situation, what we're able to see, and things like that.
Okay.
That determines it.
I understand. I think from the time I heard about it, it's got to be 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, and then, and of course my hair's getting long and I can't go get a haircut because I have to listen to it about the house across the street. So anyway.
While we're on that subject too, that one that's on Spruce Creek Road with that garage door that's hanging down, is that not an emergency situation that somebody can go in there
and speaking with the building official, it wasn't deemed to be an emergency situation.
Right.
In between the time that the city, we actually took that case to code board, we had the city mow the property. We have adopted the International Property Maintenance Code. That is going to allow us to revisit that case and to have that home boarded up and secured.
Yeah, I see not only was the garage door down, but the attic space, ladder was down.
Was down, yeah. And sometimes the doors were wide open going in from the garage into the house.
And those weren't violations until the property maintenance code was adopted, which requires the exterior of the structure to be secure.
That's right.
All right.
And unfortunately, we're just gonna see more of this.
All right, somebody make a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city to initiate civil litigation against GMAC Mortgage LLC, current property owners of 4679 Chardonnay Drive in Port Orange.
A motion and second, let's present additional comments, council. Anyone? Let's call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. 5-0. Next is resolution 1047.